everybody is after money. Everybody wants money. But when you don't have money just to get started, you're going to learn how to convert your money into contracts. Then what that's going to do is make you have even more money. Let's say there's $1 million blueprint a year to show you how to get a government contract, but you don't have the money and the cost of education is $100,000, but you don't have the $100,000. So now you got to borrow the $100,000 and it's going to cost you 20% of that borrowed money in order for you to borrow it so you can learn the thing that's going to teach you how to make $1 million your first year and then go on to make in perpetuity millions of dollars in years to come. Most people quit right here. As soon as they see the cost of learning, the cost of wealth creation, they quit, which means you were not designed to become a wealth creator. You never even saw the thing through because you didn't see how you were going to implement and execute, and you didn't believe that about yourself. But people who win, people who understand their value, people who know who they are, people who know if they get an opportunity to change their lives, they're going to run the play. Those people, they're going to go and move forward to access capital, even if they don't have access to it in their own pocketbooks. Hey, what's up and welcome back. So in this video, I'm going to share with you how you can live for free as a high performing entrepreneur. Like literally, so I have this concept that I teach and I show people how to turn their business into a vehicle that actually produces wealth and cash flow. In this video, I'm going to show you how that cash flow can also turn into a solution that lets you live for free. So make sure that you stay tuned. I'm going to show you how you can afford anything that you can ever want. Imagine that. No matter how much it costs. I'm going to show you how to do that. And just imagine all of us pay bills, right? We pay bills to live. We pay bills to breathe. We pay bills to heat up, to drive, to transport, to have children. Like we pay bills for every single aspect of living. But I'm going to show you how to get those lifestyles covered, right? How you can get all those bills covered with your business and you can virtually live not only for free, but tax-free as well. And I'm going to show you that in this illustration. That is our ultimate goal. Myself, my husband, like we had a conversation and a commitment about a few months ago that we're going to build our business and put in position things and strategies and systems so that we're able to live for free. And I'm going to show you guys how that works as well. Feel free to implement and execute. Don't just learn the information that I'm going to share with you all. Implement and execute. The first step to living for free, I'm going to share my screen. And this is a gameplay, right? So this is going to be a play that anybody can use if you like, if so desire. It has absolutely nothing to do with everything, but it has everything to do with one thing very specific, and that's turning your business into a profitable cash flow machine. Okay. So the first thing, number one, is you got to learn to convert your money into contracts. Everybody is after money, right? Everybody wants money. But initially, when you don't have much money or just have a little bit money just to get started and to get by, then by making this play, right, you're going to learn how to convert by turning your money into contracts. Then what that's going to do is make you have even more money. It's going to return to you in multifold, right? Watch this. For example, let's just say there's a blueprint out there, right? I know that I have a blueprint that can teach you how to make $1 million a year as a high performing entrepreneur. But of course, it takes work. Maybe a $1 million a year blueprint in real estate, or $1 million a year blueprint in trading day trades, or $1 million a year in your janitorial business or on a podcast or whatever, right? So first and foremost, the first thing is in order to get the blueprint, you have to pay for it. Yeah, you got to pay for it. When we go to church, when we grew up in the church, I grew up in the church. And 10% was the offering, right? So that's biblical. 10% you're supposed to give back and all those different things, right? And that's a biblical principle to give 10%, whether it's 10% of your gifts, your time, your offering, your money, whatever. However, you're supposed to seed back you're supposed to plant a seed and make it harvest, right? And reap the harvest. So let's just say 10% of $1 million is 100,000. Okay. So let's say maybe you didn't have 100,000 to buy a blueprint that's going to teach you how to make $1 million, but perhaps you borrowed some money and it cost you maybe 20%. So now you have $100,000 because you borrowed it, and you got to pay back $120,000 once you do make your million, which is going to leave you with 800. What is it? 800, 980 profit. Okay. We got to do math. Sometimes y'all got to draw out this stuff because most people, they look at these opportunities that are out there. $100,000, I'll never do that. You'll also never have $980,000 in profit had you never bet on yourself to borrow some money, which is empowering. So I have a video. It talks about how to leverage debt to create wealth. Go watch that video because you're going to understand and unlock some of the things that are keeping you back from becoming the first generational millionaire or the first or second multimillionaire in your family. So we got to get out of our own way. I promise you're going to get so much value and you're going to understand how to unlock the potential that you have to create millions of dollars for yourself, your family, so you can also buy your time back and spend that time with the people that you say you love the most. Okay. So you got to convert the money into contracts. How do you do that? So let's just say there's $1 million blueprint a year to show you how to get a government contract. We're going to just use that as an example, but you don't have the money and what the cost to learn the blueprint, the cost of education is $100,000, which is 10% of what you could potentially earn your first year. Then from there, you can go on to make additional millions of dollars in perpetuity, right? So it's a lifelong thing. It's not a one-time thing. Hey, thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you're enjoying it. I wanted to take some time to invite you to join me in the GovCon Challenge. The GovCon Challenge takes place once a month where I invite a bunch of entrepreneurs and aspiring entrepreneurs to come and have me teach you the 5 things you must do to pre-qualify your business to land lucrative contracts with the government. So join me in the GovCon Challenge. Click on the link in the description. You'll be glad you did. Join as VIP for exclusive behind-the-scenes information, and you could become a part of the top 1% of entrepreneurs across the nation. Now back to the video you were watching. Right? But you don't have the $100,000. So now you got to borrow the $100,000 and it's going to cost you 20% of that borrowed money in order for you to borrow it so you can learn the thing that's going to teach you how to make $1 million your first year and then go on to make in perpetuity millions of dollars in years to come. Okay. So it's cost you $120,000. Most people quit right here. This is where most average people quit right here. As soon as they see the cost of learning, the cost of wealth creation, they quit, which basically means you were not designed to become a wealth creator because you quit at the beginning. You never even saw the thing through because you didn't see how you were going to implement and execute, and you didn't see the value that you can really become the first generation millionaire. You didn't believe that about yourself, and that's fine. That's fine. But I just want to just illustrate. Most people quit here, but the winners, people who win, people who understand their value, people who know who they are, people who know if they get an opportunity to change their lives, they're going to run the play. Those people, they're going to go and move forward to access capital, even if they don't have access to it in their own pocketbooks, right? They're going to find a way to make it happen. They're going to figure it out. Just like we figured things out when loved ones passed. They didn't have life insurance, but we got to bury them. And it may cost $20,000 for the whole funeral thing. Guess what we do? We go do chicken sales. We do bake sales. We do fundraisers. We figure it out. But when it comes time for us to live and live more abundantly and to change our lives and to become generational wealth creators, we don't want to figure things out. It's crazy, but it's nobody's fault in particular. It's the miseducation of the misdirectional education system that has dumbed us down to think and make decisions that does not serve us well. Okay. But a winner is going to look at this opportunity and make it work for them. And they're going to be okay with paying back $120,000 for a loan that they got that was $100,000. That's $20,000 above the cost of what they borrowed, right? But they understand that by applied knowledge, by doing the work and executing and not quitting, they're going to make $1 million. 120 out of $1 million is really nothing because at the end of the day, when you do the math, you're going to still end up with more than you spent. It cost you $20,000, but you wouldn't have the $1 million had you not borrowed the $100,000, pay back the $20,000, and now you're in the profits of $980,000. So now you're in a game. Okay. Step 1 is convert your money into contracts. So now you have this knowledge of how to land a $1 million contract, and it ended up leaving you your first year with $980,000. Yes or yes, is that a good position to be in? Yes or yes, right? Math don't lie. Math just works. You just got to know how to work it so that you can end up on this side rather than ending up on this side where you remain at zero. You don't want to end up on this side where you remain at zero. If you want to end up on this side where you get in the game and end up at $980,000, richer, wealthier, more prosperous than you were the year before, then you want to do this. Okay. So you converted your money into contracts. This is how the conversion takes place. Convert your money. This is a book to learn how to make money. This is a book. Convert your money to know how to make money. And then your money multiplies by hundreds of thousands and even millions of dollars. So this is what it looks like to convert your money into cash flow contracts. That gives you cash flow, right? That's what it looks like. Okay. So that's the visual. Number two, then you take this cash flow. This is a contract that gave you the cash flow, and you pay for everything with contracts. With this gameplay, you say, I want to buy a $500,000 house. So I have a house in Atlanta that I want to buy. It's 10 bedrooms. It's a big house. It has an estate. It's on 3 acres of land. It has a runway and a car run that goes right up to my property. It has some agricultural land in the back, all this stuff. But it's going to cost me $500,000, and I don't have it. Plus, I don't have the paperwork that's required for me to get a loan from a mortgage broker in order for me to get that house. So what can I do? How can I get the house that I desire to have, no matter how much it costs? Pay for everything, convert your money into contracts. That's going to give you the cash flow. And in essence, you're paying for everything with the contract. So if the first year you're $980,000 more richer and wealthier than you were the last year, then you take $500,000 from the $980,000 that you paid, invested to learn how to make, right? Because lack of knowledge is costing you at least $1 million a year every year that you don't know how to do it. Okay. So then you subtract 500,000 from 980, that leaves $480,000 that you still have to invest in other things that you want to do. Right. Now you've paid for your house, your $500,000 house with a government contract. You're living for free. So let's just say 10% of the value of your home is your taxes. Let's just say maybe it costs you $5,000 a year, $5,000 a year. First year, you take $480,000 minus 5,000. 1, 2, 3 minus 5,000. 475. The $475,000 remaining in profits. You paid for your taxes. Now you're tax free for your home. You paid for your house with a government contract. Now let's just say, so now you have $475,000 that you can invest in other producing assets, income producing assets. So this is invested in other assets, plus like cost of living, travel, whatever it is that you want to invest that money into, but you want to continue the momentum of producing assets with the money that you've earned the first year. Okay. That's just the first year. So let's just say the second year you've done the same thing, but now that you already have made the investment one time to learn how to do this, now you just know how to do this. All you know how to do is get contracts. Now you made one-time investment. Now you know how to get these $1 million contracts. And this is year 2. You learn how to, this is money, right? So now you know how to get it. So now you land your next $1 million contract. Mind you, still had $475K from the previous year. So now you're $1,475,000 richer, 1.475 million. It's easier to do it that way. So now you're $1,475,000 richer than you were 2 years ago. Okay. So now you have a new contract. Now you say you want to buy some land. It's going to cost you $800,000. I'm just making up these numbers, but this is how you really live for free, no matter how much it costs. Ideally, when you go see some land, this could be like 1,000 acres of land, and they're selling it for $800,000. And it used to be like it's historical property, whatever it is. They're selling it for $800,000. So initially, you would count yourself out, because if you're making $50,000, maybe $80,000 a year, you can never see yourself purchasing something that costs $800,000 unless it's a mortgage that you've gotten a loan to go pay over a 30-year period, and to find out that you still owe money because mortgages are backwards and they're illegal. So that's a whole nother conversation in the first place. But anyways, so here's the land. 1,000 acres of land costs $800,000, but you have $1.475 million. So let's do the math on that. I'm going to bring up my calculator on my phone. So we have 1,475,000 minus 800,000 equals $675,000. So now, instead of 475,000 that you had left over from year one, not only do you have your $500,000 house, but you also have your $800,000 piece of land. And all of these things are going to accumulate interest and assets, right? It's going to grow, appreciate over time. So it's going to be worth way more when you hold on to it and sell it in the long run, if you ever sell it. But it's going to be worth way more to where now you can tap into that land and pull out some money, or you can tap into that house and pull out some equity. So now we have, outside of these properties that we've acquired with government contracts, they paid for our legacy. Now we have another $675,000 that we can continue the momentum of prosperity forward by creating additional passive income streams and properties that's going to produce more money. So now, as you can see, money begets money begets money. So you pay for things with contracts. When you think about life and all the things that you want to acquire in a way that you're paying for all of the things that you could ever want, you can pay for a yacht with a contract. You can pay for yachts. You can pay for a private jet with a contract. You can pay for an estate with a contract. There is nothing in life that you cannot achieve or accomplish or acquire because of the price point. When you understand that, you got to convert your money into a contract. When you learn how to create contracts, you can pay for everything with a contract, which makes life living for free for you, because guess who's paying for it? The government. You made one-time investment in learning how to get the government to pay for your lifestyle. All right. How many of you are ready to pay for everything with government contracts, right? You want to make the government pay for your legacy. I don't just talk about this. I remember when I never thought for a second that I would be able to own houses and land. Not a second, because I was financially bankrupt. Not officially bankrupt, but I was financially bankrupt in my mind because I didn't understand. I thought I had to pay for everything with money out of my pocket until I learned about government contracts. And then I realized I can get the land that I never had and with a contract, let the government pay for it. So I got my first 10 acres of land when I was about 37, first 10 acres of land. Then I got my next few acres of land very shortly after, and I didn't pay for it with my money. I paid for it with a contract. And then I got some houses and rental property with government contracts. And now those houses and rental properties are producing passive income streams, right? So pay for everything with contracts. I promise it will change your life. So when you think about that, like forking out maybe 20,000 to 50,000, which is going to be the cost of learning, really learning a business infrastructure of how to create wealth with your business and government contracts or whatever, forking that out up front is going to be nothing for you, because you're going to learn how to do something that most people will never do. Okay. So then you reinvest your money from the contracts into passive income streams, which is what you see here. This is why I say this is so very powerful. This is what you see here. These passive income streams, that could be rental property where you're actually renting and cash flowing anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 a month, depending on the size of the house, the room, where you own the property. That's passive income streams that you invest the money that you're getting from the government into this thing, and this thing is going to continue to produce money. And at some point, the money that you've invested, you're going to not only make that back, but you're going to make abundantly, exceedingly above all of the things that you've ever put into that property or whatever. So you multiply that. Now it's passive. You don't have to do any more work. It's just going to make money for you. Passive income streams, additional passive income streams. How else can I make my money work for me? Universal index life money, life policies. You put your money in and it's going to grow at 5 to 7% annually, compoundly. So the money that's making money is going to earn interest upon the money and interest upon the interest, and it's all going to be tax free. So now if you've invested 60,000 over a certain period of time, that 60,000 could turn into 1.3 or more million dollars without doing all the math for you. But you got to understand what these passive streams should be. You got to understand what income producing assets are, and you got to understand how to maximize and optimize your portfolios. Yes, you got to know what those things are going to be and what they are, right? So if you're not doing this, then guess what? Eventually, you're going to have a whole lot of stuff that you got to continue to work hard for to maintain. Nobody want to have a whole lot of assets that I got to continue to work hard for so I can have the money to maintain those things. No, make the money work for you instead of you working for money. This is the first time in all my 47 years that I really understand when people who are really wealthy, when they say make money, make the money for you. Make your money go to work for you instead of you working for the money. This is the first time that I've ever understood it. It's because it's the first time I've ever been able to come into such wealth and knowledge, wealth of knowledge when it comes to government contracting and what it can do for you as a person, what it can do for your legacy, right? This is the first time that I really understand if your money is not working for you, that means you are actively working for money. And if you're actively working for money, you want to be financially free. You must do these things. You must learn what it takes to be financially free and be willing to invest in the knowledge so that you can master it so that you can ultimately become financially free. Okay. Number 4 is passive streams must outgrow your expenses. So let's just say here we have passive income streams. And it's just year 1, year 2. Like year 1, year 2, you've already made you made 2 million minus the 120,000 for borrowing money, the money that you borrowed. So that's still 1.88 million, right? That's still 1.88 million in money that you've been able to own a property that's $500,000, right? Own land that was $800,000, and you still have over $675,000 remaining in cash flow. And these dollars plus the 400 and something that you had before. So this money that you have, now you're investing in passive income streams, PIS, passive income streams, that's cash flowing monthly, okay? So let's just say these are the passive income streams that you've decided that you want to invest in because they give you the most return on your investment. You can get your return faster. So these are all passive income streams because you understand that cash flow is designed for you to make your money move out of your pocket into the market and return to you by multiple fold. That is the purpose of money, okay? So to make it move. That's why it's called currency. Currency is living water that moves, okay? If your currency is still, that means it's dead. It's stopped growing and you are working hard for it rather than it's living and it's working for you. Money can come alive in the spiritual realm. Yes, it can, and begin to work for you and have a whole lot of momentum. Let's just say each one of these passive income streams produces about $5K a month, okay? And this is just a hypothetical example. So this is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So this is $40,000 a month in passive income streams. So let's just say, per se, you live a pretty, not luxurious life, but midpoint, right? You live a pretty midpoint life, plus you have business expenses. Maybe your business overhead is $40,000 a month in business. This is just for your staffing, your payroll, all of the services, the tools that you pay for, all your business vehicles, all of that stuff, the maintenance, the building, your rental property for the business and all that stuff. Let's just say your expenses is about $40,000 a month on the business side and maybe about $25,000 a month on the personal side because you own a home, you have children, you pay for school or private school, you pay for tutoring, you have a car note or whatever it is. So that's $65,000 that you have in monthly expenses. Let's do the math on that. Calculator. $65,000 a month. Multiply that by 12. That's $780,000. That's $780,000 a year in expenses. And you're grossing right now $40,000 a month in passive income. Multiply that by 12. You're grossing $480,000 a year. You need another $300,000 to meet your expenses. So here we have, okay. So that's 480. So another 300,000. Okay. So basically, if you take this, you double down on it, just say, because this is a game plan, right? So you take this passive income streams plan that you already have and you double down on it, right? So you add another one here. So you do that, double down. And now instead of $40,000 a month, now you've grown it over time to $80,000 a month. which is going to be $900,000 a year, which more than covers your $780,000 a year lifestyle. So now you're getting paid to live for free, right? So that's 120. So now you're getting paid $120,000 a year to live for free. How do you live for free? Your passive income has now exceeded your expenses. So now you get to get out of the rat race and live for free. And it's because of the active income, the active money that you've used to invest in knowledge one time that showed you how to convert your cash into contracts and showed you how to take the contracts and live for free and buy the things that you want with contracts, but also take the overflow after you've gotten everything that you want, take the overflow and reinvested it, cash flow, right? Reinvested it into passive income streams and grew those income streams, multiplied those income streams until the income streams passively, where you don't have to work for it, you just set it up and forget it. And it's paying you over and over and over. And eventually they exceeded your expenses and now you get to live for free. And it exceeded your expenses so much that even after you live for free, you're still getting paid. So you're now positioning yourself to get paid to live for free. Amen or amen. This is the hardest. Like getting started with momentum is the hardest. But ultimately, just like an avalanche, it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Before you know it, that money momentum has grown so much so that your passive income streams outweigh by a long shot your expenses. That's how you live for free, right? So live financially abundantly free, getting paid to live for free, paying for everything, not with money, but with contracts, and converting your initial money into contracts. Initially, it starts with converting your money into education that's going to show you how to get the contract. That's how you convert it. You got to go through a conversion, right? Whether you like it or not. If you want this lifestyle, if you want to learn how to live for free, you got to convert your cash flow into contracts, because contracts can pay for everything. Some people don't know what plays to run, but I just gave you a simple play that you can run that can literally and will literally change your life if you let it. And if you allow it to change your life, it will. If you're ready to take your business to the next level, I'm telling you, if you want to know how money works, if you want to know how to take a business to the next level, you need to be doing government contracts. And in order to do government contracts, in order to know how to convert your cash into contracts, you must get yourself pre-qualified, because it's going to change the way that you view money, which is the things that we've been taught. It don't work that way. It works like this. This is the gameplay. And that's with contracts. That's the biggest, most money that you could ever make. Then you take the money and you convert that into your dream. Everything that you want, you purchase with government contracts. It could be a plane. You want an airplane? Let the government fund that. They can buy your airplane, your private jet. It could be your luxury Benz, whatever, Bentley, Rolls Royce, whatever it is that you want. You pay for that with a government contract. Then you take the influx of the cash flow and you create passive income streams. Then you maximize on the passive income streams until it exceeds your lifestyle. And that's how you live for free. So that's it for today, you guys. Hopefully this was as valuable to you as it was to me when I understood the play, because this is the play that we're running like actively in my life, but it's also a play that you can run if you choose to. And if you want to know how to get started with understanding how contracts work and understand the ins and outs before you jump into it, join us in our upcoming GovCon challenge, because I'm going to show you exactly how it all works in a GovCon challenge and how lucrative contracts can literally change your life, and where to go get the money, who's giving the money, how to position yourself to go get the money so that all of these things can work and make sense for you. So go to govconchallenge.com, get registered for our next upcoming challenge, and I'll see you on the money side. Let's run the play. Until next time, and in between time, go be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it. And then and only then will you have dominion over everything that's ever held you back, and all the disbelievers that told you that you could not do it. Because I'm here to tell you and empower you that you can do it, and it starts today.